One.
Hello, and welcome, everybody. Good morning. Mitch will be here, but he'll be just a few minutes. Welcome to another edition of Live Trading. I hope that you have a great day. I'm actually going to skip the intro here and just dive into a couple of things. Great to see a whole bunch of people in the chat. The team is here. Good morning, Gil, Becca, Explodus, Cheek, Carmen, Ben, Elon. Who am I missing? Smoke Tuna, Beach Bum. Let's go. Marvel or DC? Interesting handle. Okay. Good morning, folks. Let's hope for a really nice day here today. Of course, yesterday, the big news is we had Tesla and Netflix earnings, and that's absolutely going to affect the market today. Now, SPY was a little bit lower here in the pre-market session, but looks to be rebounding. You can see we actually closed yesterday into this purple shaded area as we resume the sell-off. It'll be interesting to see where we actually close on the SPY candle here today. If I zoom in, you can see we basically bounced off that 20-day moving average again. We'll see if we can end up breaking down here and then maybe going towards that 426 level that we've been waiting for a little bit. Flipping over to the movers, we do have some new stocks here, or new smaller stocks here. We're going to cover those in a sec. First one I want to cover as one of the hot stocks here is going to be Tesla. Tesla, of course, reported earnings yesterday. Tesla shares are trading lower after the company reported worse than expected Q3 financial results. So you can see we actually popped a little bit in the after hours, traded down, and then took another leg down here today. Now, my question is going to be, where does Tesla actually find its bottom? I wouldn't be shocked at all today if we saw a bounce at some point. I just don't know where that level is. So that's one of the things that we're going to look for. If we look at the daily chart here, you can see a very, very clear level at 212. I just really don't think that we get there today. That would be a pretty accelerated sell-off for us to get there. So I would imagine Tesla's going to bounce somewhere else. We'll see if it maybe just bounces right out of the gate. I'm interested to see what the market participants do when the market opens. Do we flush a little bit more and then bounce hard? We've seen that before. Are we going to trade up right out of the gate? Not sure yet. So this is Tesla, definitely one that we're going to put on watch here today. The other stock that reported earnings yesterday and has just been an absolute monster is Netflix, right? So Jay Rice, massive shout out to Jay Rice yesterday, who said if there's any type of good news out of the Netflix report, because it's been beaten down so much recently, it's likely to pop. Well, guess what happened? Netflix shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 sales results, issued guidance, and raised subscription prices. So we got several things here that are positive for Netflix's price. We popped yesterday. We really kind of held those gains in the after hours. It looks like we're actually taking the next leg up here today. Netflix definitely going to have some strength here today. Well, one of the strategies here for a potential trade would be maybe a gap and go trade. I don't know how many of you have traded gap and go before. You can use your 9 EMA as your exit trigger. If you've bought it in the pre-market, you might already be in good shape. We'll watch Netflix here. No position for me, but these two stocks, definitely some of the hotter stocks on deck here today. I do want to cover some of the little stocks here really quickly. I actually have to jump for a really quick meeting here for like 15 minutes, but I'll be right back. Hopefully, we'll be right back before the open. As far as some of the little stocks go, the new one that we have here today, I could get it to load here, is MDAI. This is Spectral AI. Stock's up 65% right now, actually really kind of hugging the VWAP. If we take a look at the news here, you can see Spectral AI's Deep View Snapshot Wound Imaging System achieves UKCA mark and FDA Class 1 medical device classification. So a pretty good PR here for MDAI. That's popping the stock considerably here. We'll see if we end up getting a trade off this. Volume looks good. Want to see that volume continue into the regular session and then expand. That might be the juice that we need to take off this 479, 480 pre-market high. I really like right now that we're currently at the VWAP. That should give us a really good entry and exit trigger here. If we break down past 4, really need this to confirm some type of bottom on the intraday chart in order to trade this. Otherwise, I think we might just kind of keep giving this back. So we'll see here. MDAI on watch today, without a doubt. Next is going to be one that you folks have been trading for a couple of days. I know that there were a number of people out there yesterday that really kind of hit ICU. we're taking another leg up here in the pre-market today. So we'll see if ICU continues. The one thing I will say is day 2 of this run here, especially with us being up in the pre-market, watch for knives here, right? Watch for a really quick sell-off on the stock. If that happens, it's possible that we actually bottom, and that could provide a good entry there. So ICU, worth watching here. With all of the stuff that's on deck here, I'm probably going to pass on this. This was a penny stock yesterday. It might become a penny stock again here today. I think that there are probably better opportunities for me, but we will keep this on deck. Looks like we're popping here above the VWAP as we speak. So ICU also having a nice day here. We already talked about Netflix. I am going to mention AT&T here. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just misclicking left and right here. AT&T reported earnings here this morning. The conference call is currently in progress. AT&T shares trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results. You can see we really kind of moved almost a full dollar here. AT&T trades pretty thick, so this should be very, very liquid and fairly easy to get in and out of no matter what price or size that you use. We'll see if this continues. What I'd really like to see here is a trade up towards 1575. Unsure if it makes it there today, but we'll see. AT&T popping here and looks like it's coming off of the bottom. Looks like EJH was on here. I didn't really take a look at this. It is popping a little bit here. This is quite thin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this averages just under 1 million shares traded per session. Already in the pre-market, we've traded 1.17 million shares. So higher than average volume already in the pre-market. Let's see if that continues and then takes off in the regular session. I know we're up here a little bit, but it's really not a whole lot. So we'll go ahead and see. Mitch, you're back. I'm going to jump here real quick and I'll be right back. Oh, you don't even have screens shared yet. I guess I better wait. And you're muted. Damn.
You know it. It's one of those days. Just trying to roll with it. Let me get my trade to pull up. I don't know why. There it is. Somehow went to my right screen. All right. Give me 2 seconds here and I'll get you out of here. There we go. That's the screen that I needed. All right.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear, Jay. This is what I wanted to hear, Jay. Great call yesterday. You gave that to us ahead of that while the market was still open. Awesome stuff, man. All right. I'll be right back.
All right, let's see what happens out there, guys. Let's get to the action, and we'll see what happens today, guys. Definitely smash the like out there. Let's get to the stock market action, and I will tell you guys right now, do I feel like I have an edge on this market today? Not really, not much, man, but I'm going to try to find the action versus try to think about where I see the market going. We'll see what happens. Definitely good to see you guys out there. Hi, everybody out there. It's good to see you guys. Definitely let me know what stocks on your radar. I'm going to go through the trade the pool hot stocks, but if you guys have stocks, throw them up there. Tesla, Netflix, AT&T, of course, big moves there. Tesla, at least it's looking like my bearish outlook overall is still coming into play. And a lot of what was said, exactly what I've been talking about. This is exactly what Elon talked about. And he's talked about how due to the fact of high interest rates and the affordability of these vehicles, that their demand could be going down, especially at interest rates where they are. And so I think in the long run, this is a huge negative to Tesla, especially beginning the year. So could they get a little bit of a lift off of this, exuberant move down? Yeah, it might be getting a little bit of a bounce, but do I think that we come down towards 200? Yeah, I actually think we come down all the way to 200 in the next month or two. So we'll see what happens there in Tesla. That's just the way I see it. If you guys want to take a shot, maybe take your shots off support around the 240 spot. So maybe it comes a little bit further down, hits that 240 and then gets back up there. But you guys can see it, 226 right now. I don't think we're going to get that back up there towards that prior support. I think if anything, you're going to get little pops and drops on Tesla. I would be kind of avoiding it today. I wanted to kind of just stop moving so much, right? On a day like this, you're going to get some fast moves up on Tesla. You're going to get some fast moves down. I'm personally going to stay away from Tesla today just because it's a lot of action there. Same thing for Netflix. The move could already be done. It could pull back towards like maybe 375, 385s. I don't expect to see Netflix going higher here. I think it's already made its move. And I I'd be looking for pullbacks. Earning plays the day after, I really don't like to play. I like to let them settle out a little bit, but we'll see what happens there on Netflix. All right, and then AT&T, of course, getting a nice little spike this morning. They had their earnings. Let's talk a little bit about that. Looks like they beat on adjusted EPS. Total revenues coming in pretty decent. They popped on free cash flow guidance after strong Q3 results. We'll look to see if this can keep going. Maybe this gets a little bit of a lift today, but AT&T, I think, has just been a dying brand in the last couple of years. And you guys can see it by the 5-year chart, how this just goes up and then comes right back down. The only reason I feel people still play this is for the dividend. But really, I mean, how much is really there, right? We're at 14. This company has really been on the decline since about 2019 and maybe even further back. So this just goes to show me I really don't like it for a long-term trade. But if you want to just grind up for the short term, maybe this can get the lift and continue driving today. 15.26, it's gone already. Maybe a pullback back towards 15.10s out the gates, back up there to 15.25. Not the worst. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being mentioned in the chat here. I'm going to keep rolling. Good morning to you guys out there. Katrina, Kindred, Duke, of course. Let's get to the action. Smash that like button. Support us as we support you guys out there. Palantir, strong all morning, says Ben. Let's take a look at that one. Not a bad one, as it has been strong as of late. Let's see if this starts to push, and you can see kind of a rounding bottom on this. So that goes to show that kind of bullish move starting to come back. Now, the only question is, can you kind of recover some hourly levels? That's what I would be watching for. Hourly support was around here. This resistance became support, so around 1760. I'd like to see it recover 1760s, then start holding there for an 18 run. Couldn't be a bad stock, at least to watch, at least for today, but it's kind of been bunching up here. Could also pull back to the 16 level. Not really a stock that I'm looking to make big moves, but hey, we'll see what happens on that one. Let's keep going. Lockheed Martin mentioned in the chat. We'll see what happens on that. Of course, they've been climbing. The defensive names have been continuing to push up. I think at some point we get a little bit of a knockdown, and that's funny because I'll go to knock, and they'll see as that stock that I could see kind of pull back and show us the pullback. And why? Because look at this topping action that we're seeing around the 493s. So if this can't get back above the 493s, I think this could at least pull back for a little bit. And you guys can see here in the pre-market how we've been trying to make a little bit move towards the downside support. 485 being that support there. If you can crack that, I think we can start coming back 50% of the recent move. So I'm actually looking for downside action in defensives today, not upside action, but we'll see what happens there. Eldon, I already covered. Tesla. Becca bringing in a smaller name. Let's take a look at that one. AUMN. And this one's looking like it just popped from the 140 area up to 160. Has had already about 2 moves, right? Maybe you can even view this as the third move. I'm going to view this as the second move here. Since this would be the first move, this would be the second move. So maybe we get one more move. I normally don't expect more than 3 moves. That's kind of like the ABC approach, right? The D approach usually fails and then comes back for a correction. So in my eyes, I don't like AUM. And because it's already done the first 2 moves. So on the third move, it could be some topping action. Just wouldn't go after it. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on there, guys. Let's see what else is going to make moves today. And of course, you guys keep throwing up those stocks in the chat. I'll try to keep up with all the action. There's a lot going on out there, and you love my inputs. Well, let me know when you don't love them, and that's okay too, right? I want you guys to let me know what you guys like and don't like, right? And feel free to be on both sides. If you guys are against my outlook, by all means, I'll never view you negatively. I just want you guys to explain what, right? And that's what it's all about, so that we can all learn, because that's what we're here for, to pay it forward for all those traders trying to get to the success. Let's keep going my way, going with a long shot there. WW, Weight Watchers. Is that what that is? I'm pretty sure that's what that is. WW. We'll see what happens with this. Why Weight Watchers? Aren't they going to be on those weight drugs, those obesity drugs, and not go to Weight Watchers? I don't know. You tell me, my way. I'll keep going. Junie, I'm taking a nap when Pal speaks. Yeah. I mean, today we have Fed speak all day long, starting at 12 p.m. into the afternoon. We could see that market completely change. Jerome Powell speaking at 12. So, Junie, that's your nap time, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll find out. All right, Valero, interesting name, Kevin. It's one that it's been on my radar to maybe take a move on oil to the upside. Let's take a look at that action right now. Of course, it's been declining here in the pre-market. Let's go to the daily chart and see what we're finding out here. Recent pop there towards 135. You can see we're trading right now around the 134. Can we continue this climb? I think you're just looking at WTI, right? And I've talked about this. Can we get back above the 88 levels into the 90s? Today's day's range, 88.42 to 86.60. We need to see this get above into the 90 handle on the top end of this range if we're going to see these oil moves continue. And then, of course, I'll be looking at that 52-week range, which includes 95.03 topping on WTI. So if we can get above 90, working our way to 95, I think these oil stocks can continue climbing higher. All right, we'll see what else is making moves out there. Definitely smash the like out there. Support us as we support you guys like always. Keep going through all the moves in the market. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is making moves. AMD news about a new processor. That's interesting. I didn't catch that one. So I'll definitely be taking a look into Benzinga Pro to find out what happened with that new processor. We'll see what happens there. But like always, you guys see me here trading on Trade the Pool. And I do want to let you guys know, what's that at the top? That's the Rule the Pool trading competition starting October 30th. Definitely super excited to compete against you guys out there. We haven't done this in the past, but I can tell you right now, I definitely want to compete with you guys out there. Like, let's say even like Jay with that Netflix trade. Jay, you going to take me on? You going to win the battle? You going to rule the pool, Jay? Let us know, Jay. I mean, if you're making that call on Netflix, I want to see those trades being made, man. Let's see what happens on that. I would love to see you, Jay, win the competition and take the money. All right, we'll see what else is going out there, team. They are now prescribing the drug. Weight Watchers? That's interesting, my way. That's interesting. All right, well, I'll take a look into that, Ben. You guys, this is what it's about, team. Give us some info. Look at you guys coming in here and even making me going to go do some deep dive research on what's going on with that Weight Watchers outlook. And my way, coming in with some good supporting details. Love to see it, guys. That's what it's all about here. Always jumping in with something extra. And you guys give some value to those traders out there. Show some thesis, right? That's exactly what you guys are doing here. And it can help traders maybe find a big trade. All right, definitely trade the pool, smash the like. We'll see what's going out there. Gil, it's good to see you in the chat. Let's see what you're going to get into today. And we're going to keep battling, that's for sure. I'm going to be battling against Gil on the competition. I'll tell you what, Gil, you better bring that hot game because we're going to bring you on and we're going to see that trading action. Definitely excited. During the competition, I'm going to be bringing on Gil right here. Video, you guys will get him, so stay after it, team. If you guys have any questions, like always, you guys can reach out to Gil directly or reach out to the help. Look down below in the description. You guys will catch his email, and if at any point you need it, I could also just copy and paste it for you guys. So why does Trade the Pool try to charge you $4,000 when you try to log in? I don't know, because that doesn't seem correct there. Sad boy, but maybe sad boy needs to contact Gil too.
That is an opportune time to reach out to Gil and get that straightened
that's
out.
when I would definitely reach out to Gil there in that case, right? Not what should be happening, but if you want to go ahead and learn of how you can go ahead and reach out to Gil, I'll give you guys the link, and then you guys can go ahead and reach out to him. Looks like it's not included in the description today. I will grab that right now because I want to make sure that it's there. It should be there, but let me go ahead and correct that here. Just give me 2 seconds, team. I'll grab that and add that in there. And I'll also throw it up in the chat right here for you guys. All right, Ryan, you ready to get to this bell? What's on your radar, man? Because to tell you the truth, I don't got much.
Yeah, I don't have much either. We kind of already covered it. MDAI, ICU for the penny players. I'm going to flip over to my main workspace
Yeah.
here. Yesterday, FBYD. Anyone hit Falcons Beyond Global yesterday? This thing was an absolute ripper. In
Right,
any
there it
case,
is, chat.
here we go.
I just threw up in the chat there those emails that you guys can reach out to, and I'm also making sure that they're here in the description. There we are. They're there located for you guys. So if you guys need anything, let me know in the chat. Let's get after it. Also, Gil's in the chat here to help you guys out. So we're here to help you get to that next level. Let's find out what happens today. All right, guys. I do have a swing trade on, and that's on MTB. I'm up a decent amount on that. Probably taking profits at some point today, but I'll let you guys know. Biggest thing is I don't want to be short that stock after I put out my short report pretty much on the banks, right? I don't want to be one of those guys that does a short report and has a short position on, right? Well, I'll close it so that I won't be talking up too much of my book when I give out that report.
I've never seen a Mitch short report. I think I'd like to see that.
Money Mitch short report, baby, coming after you guys.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, and I've pulled from like about 8 or 10 different sources. A lot of information. So
let's go.
Stay tuned,
Mitch.
guys. Yeah, I spent like a good couple hours on my Saturday to do that information. So let's look around, guys. Let's see what we can find today. And like always, guys, we do have a great event for you guys today. If you guys don't know, we have the AI Summit later today at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss that. And as I will be interviewing Verizon and MasterCard, there's Qualcomm there. And we also will have Amazon Web Services. So you don't want to miss that. Big companies coming up on the AI Summit. All right, looking around to see what happens out the gates today. I'm definitely trying to be slower to the market. I've just been off. Let's just say that, to say the least. We'll see what happens today. Technology leading the market to the upside right now. Utilities up 0.2, defensives up 0.1. And then now we're starting to get a little bit more lead there. Consumer cyclicals getting a little bit of a bounce. What's in the red here out the gates is energy, basic materials, and healthcare. Basic materials I could see going down for all except gold and silver today. That's what I'm going to be watching. But right now at the gates, aluminum leading to the downside, silver leading to the downside, and what else? Steel and coal. Those especially. Steel, I don't like it too much. Aluminum, I don't like it too much. Some earnings coming out today that's not showing the biggest lift. Steel Dynamics going down pretty good amount there. All right, Valero, you see that pullback? We're getting a nice little pullback. Will this be the kind of the red to green type of move today? I think we also could get a pullback overall on the market. So let's just keep a watch to see what happens today. Will we get a little bit of a bounce? SPY bouncing in here. Q's trying to bounce towards the upside. Tesla is green out the gates, about 1.8%. If you guys want to take a look at that, you guys can watch it. I'm going to leave Tesla alone today. A name that has been hot as of late that's getting another move higher, Zscaler. So those cybersecurity names just slowly but surely continuing to grind higher. PanW, CrowdStrike, all names you got to be looking at in that space. We'll see what happens.
All right, TPST, good shout. Becca, TPST blowing through here. I'll go back
I got you. I got you. What you want to do, pro?
Trade the pool.
All right, there you go. I got you up.
Boom. So TPST, this was a nice move. It was rejected in the pre-market at the VWAP. It came back in, gave you a higher low, turned around on the expanding volume that we look for all the time, blew through that VWAP here, went as high as what, 614, coming back in a little bit. I'm a little late to this, so I got to wait for a setup here. We're also doing that wait right out of the open. So not in this, but this looking strong here early.
I say I'll be watching the IWM. IWM has not looked good. So I've talked about this in the past. When the IWM is not doing good, I don't like small cap names. So just saying that I don't like them at all when the IWM is not working well.
Yeah, totally get it. Totally get it.
And that it's just kind of a warning kind of thing. It's something to keep me safe. So if anything, I'd be shorting small cap names, not longing small cap names. But hey, to each his own. Ben, you covered your Netflix short for 7 points. What'd you get short on Netflix, man?
That's just a regression to the mean, Ben. On Netflix, we talked about that at the open. It actually did not go up. It would have flushed any of the gap and goes out from the pre-market. First move here was down. It'd be interesting to see if this can actually kind of hold and regain. We'll see.
Yeah, that's one that I think will just come back down a little bit. I think the move has already been done. The easy money on the earnings has already been done. Now you're going to get kind of the chop session. I'm avoiding Netflix and Tesla today, but yeah, I can see that pullback. What's the IWM? Just pull it up. That's the iShare Russell 1000. Oh, no, 2000, of course. I don't know why I saw IWB. That's the 1000, just to give you guys. So when the IWM doesn't do well, a lot of times small caps kind of underperform. So that's what I see right now. And it's approaching support around the 170 level.
TPST coming back into the VWAP here.
TLT green right now from the open. I'm trying to pay attention to see if that's going to get a little bit of a lift up, because if the TLT lifts, you could see some stocks coming back today. So TLT is trying to hold and push back above the 84s. I'm going to keep an eye on it.
TPST is just too slow here. I do kind of want to try this though. Shoot. This was the bounce that I was hoping for. That's all right. We're still going to follow the rules here. Going to not let FOMO take over here. Buddy's in a standoff with my bird. My bird's in the cage, Buddy's just staring at it. Voodoo, let me post Gil's email here. I'm sorry he can't post it himself.
Done.
Apparently,
he can post it himself. He's a moderator, so he should be able to post everything.
He had asked me yesterday to post it, so
yeah.
But awesome. As long as you have it, doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's on moderator access, so he should be able to post anything and correct anything. But
MDAI curling off the bottom, it looks like. We'll see if that can get above the VWAP here on MDAI. TPST pushing off of that VWAP. That worked here.
Man, yesterday, of course, was one of those days where Monday, Tuesday, FAZ fails. Wednesday, FAZ works. So we'll see what happens with the banks if that keeps going down.
TPST struggling to stay above 6 here.
ARK straight down, ARKK straight down out the gates. That's not a good look there. Technology now going red out the gates. Financial services leading here.
This is why we wait right in here. Look at this action on TPST. Oh, smoke tuna. I'm smiling right now.
NVIDIA going lower there. Stokes getting strong now, pushing towards 1132. Pushed off the 11s. Now I'd look for a little bit of some pullback action, but we'll see what happens in Stokes. We start to see a takedown in some of these names.
I'm just rolling through some of the tickers you guys are suggesting here in the chat. SPR.
That's staying exactly,
up for Carmen.
Now.
Exactly, Carmen. We're going to be smart.
XLI going lower. CAT going lower.
Buddy's out of here, guys. He's on to greener pastures.
All right, we'll see what else is going out there, team. How we doing? What are you guys taking a look at?
NKTX, just kind of watching here. It looks like this is trying to go for its pre-market highs right now, just pushed away from its VWAP on good volume. Volume looks like it's drying up a little, but I expect that to change here. No trades yet. Just kind of watching. 3 test coming up here for NKTX.
getting a down hit today in leisure and things like that. I think definitely what didn't help it is American Airlines earnings and the way that it's been kind of turning around on us. We'll see what happens today, but definitely seeing some of those names get hit.
Airlines are a tough business.
Yeah, at some point they kind of make sense just long term, but American Airlines is actually getting a bounce today now. It was down. Now it's starting to get stronger. We'll see if XLI comes back today. Do industrials go into the green? Something I'm looking at. Not much so far out the gates here. At least that I want to trade. Netflix has kept going down, so that looks like maybe the gains are already done for the day. At least it's the way I see it.
It's early. We'll see if it bottoms and reverses. NKTX didn't quite take out that 3 and is turning around here on NKTX, coming back down to the VWAP here. VWAP at 280. NKTX.
Yeah, I just think about where it came from. That's an 18% move. Could I expect more than 18%? I don't think so. I think that's pretty big.
On Netflix, you mean?
Yeah. From yesterday's action, it's up 18% to the highs. I mean, that's a big move for Netflix. There you go. You nailed Netflix. 2 puts on Netflix. There you go.
Take that.
At least someone making some money.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
Tesla got hit right back down. Yeah, right back down. Kind of a bull trap to 230s, and now just getting hit back to 225s. Amazon was up in the pre-market, and a lot of that was ETF effects as they were trying to pick up some Amazon as they were, of course, Tesla kept getting hit. And so that's something to think about here.
NKTX now through the VWAP. Smoke tuna, the 15-minute waiting rule. Doing really good today. Doing really good today. Probably would be 0 for 2 here on some of these if I wasn't waiting this out. So I'll take it. What is ICU doing? I actually haven't looked because it was that penny stock yesterday. I haven't looked at it yet here since the open. Ooh, ICU, this is actually doing pretty well. Let's see if it can get above that 127 here in ICU. We're in no man's land right here. So as far as new trades go, not really interested in this, but definitely want to see how this holds up here today. Michael, 400% calls on those Netflix calls. That's Jay Rice. You must have had something similar to that.
All right, guys, I'm going long XLI here. Long XLI, 100 shares there. Just grabbed a little bit there on that pullback. 184.
Rick, I absolutely love this. You want to know a little funny story? So funny story. My dad he was a physical education instructor, and he used to be a swim coach. And the swim team that he coached, their nickname became Faluna's Tunas because, of course, they were swimmers, right? So when I got to college at Indiana University, you know, some of the guys that I was hanging out with, not knowing anything about me or my dad, they just naturally assigned me the nickname Tuna. So all the way through college, my nickname was Tuna. So smoked tuna is in good company, in my opinion.
Rivian had a lot of good news with Amazon, so I'll take a look at Rivian. I don't know if it's going up or down right now, Jake, but I did read an article with Amazon that put a lot of good information out on what Amazon's planning to do with Rivian. And if that's true, well, Rivian should see a lift. I haven't taken a look at the chart though today. I'm looking for pullbacks on XLI to add. We're almost towards this 101. I want us to get above the 101 in the green here for XLI. I'm seeing Boeing get a little bit of a lift there. Seeing Deere get a little bit of a lift. Honeywell with a nice move higher. That's up about 1.45% there. Lockheed Martin actually doing well. Remember, I was taking maybe a downside. No, NLC went higher, ripped to the upside, and so did Lockheed Martin. So RTX up also there. So defensive names getting a nice little push to the upside.
RTX has the best looking chart to me. To me, it seems like RTX, you could actually swing long here. That's missiles are their thing too.
Yep. And then airlines are starting to come back on the day. UAL not having a bad day, up 2%. So this could be a little bit of capitulatory bottoming action that's now starting to finally come back on American Airlines and UAL.
I thought you said UAL. Okay.
Both of them are having a decent day. I can show you guys that right now. AAL, decent day there. Look at UAL, decent day there. And let's take a look at DAL just for the hell of it. And you can see DAL is kind of the laggard of the bunch. But does it look bad? No, it doesn't look too bad here.
Savant, what you trying to say, huh? What you trying to say with this? And Smoke Tuna, I agree. Some fine wine in France. Never been. So that sounds like a lot of fun to work on getting that scheduled.
Blue gold, baby. Blue gold is what I call them. All right.
MDAI, maybe through the VWAP here. Watch MDAI.
Okay. Rivian pulling back a little bit here in the 1760s.
I'm going to try some here.
We'll see if it gets green today.
See if I get filled. Not using a market order. We'll see if this runs away from me. There we go. Filled. 200 shares MDAI. Price here 411. Looking for a move through the 420 area. And I think that's what I got at VWAP. 425 on VWAP. So we'll see. Just a starter position. Went a little bit small here.
Hey, but starter on, right? And I think that's what matters sometimes, right? We'll see what happens.
Andy, all right.
SPY going lower here. We'll see if it cracks. So is the Qs, guys. Just be careful. I'm seeing the market pretty heavy here. Even though there's leadership in the green, that's weird to see. Not often will you see the SPY down below VWAP, Qs down below VWAP, Apple green, Microsoft green, Amazon green. Doesn't happen often. Just something to note, right? We'll see if this starts to drag the market down. What's starting to come back? Some oil names are starting to come back. That's only down 0.1%. Valero, I was thinking about a 131 entrance. This is already almost back to VWAP. So we'll see if this drives back through 134. It did go red to green right here. Could also be a fade off of the 133.50s if you feel oil is going to come down. So both sides of the trade are available there. And I always like to bring that up because the truth is there is both sides of the trade right here. There's rejection of 133.50s, VWAP, right back down, or there's play back up towards 134, then VWAP bounce off of the 133.50s, going higher back towards 135. It's always two sides to the coin.
All right, here we go on MDAI. Let's see if we can take 420 and go. Nope, they just yanked it right back down. Jay Summers, love the quick trades that you're doing here. Just to highlight it, you're buying much lower than I am, 385, probably much better entry there, and hitting out at the 4. We'll see if this sets up again for you. There's 420, bang, and we go through it. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a push and a pop here. 425, there's some size there at 425. Let's see if they take it. They're hitting it. They're hitting it. Not strong enough yet. We'll see. I got VWAP on my broker at 415 and VWAP at Trade the Pool at 420. That area in here. Let's see if we can get past 425. There it goes, right through 425 up to 430. Let's go. Let's go. All right, stopping there at 430. There, and we're going higher here. Let's take gains here. Let's see if we get it. Bang, and we out. So got some green on the screen there. Small little trade on MDAI right out of the gate here. Let's wait for this to set up again. Next spot of interest here is going to be 4. What do I have there? I can't see on this screen. Let me move this to a different screen. 483. Ooh, this could really get going. Just want to get some green on the screen there, though. $437, $433. Wait for this to set up again for another buy. We'll do a bunch of little trades here as opposed to really putting myself at risk.
All right, guys, just added to my XLI. I have 200 at 185. Seeing cat start to come up as this is pulling back. I like that outlook. I'm going to be adding a little bit more in just a second. Just want to see UPS take a nice little up move. Deere go for another up move. Boeing go for another up move. And then I can go after
it. Duke the Fool is asking for a little bit more clarity on something you just said there, Mitch. I'm seeing the market getting heavy. Can you just kind of explain a little bit more what you mean by that? I know what you mean, but let's explain to the group.
Yeah, so the big thing that I look at a lot of the times is on the overall market, the Qs and the SPY. Are we above VWAP or are we below VWAP? That's going to help just determine, keep it simple, right? Are we looking bullish or bearish? Right now, what I mean by we're looking heavy is that we're fading to the downside underneath that VWAP. And then what? We're staying on the bottom end of the range. When you stay on the bottom end of the range, you're thinking, okay, are we going to break that range or not? Right now, we're starting to bounce. Now I'd be looking at the VWAP, which is for me around 364.17. So can we reclaim that and stay above that on a candle is something that I'm looking for. All right, now XLI starting to get a little bit hotter. I'm going to go ahead and try to take another ad at 88s. Slightly below 90s, 89s there. See if I can get 88s right quick. Then I'll take another ad. There you go. Just got 88s, another ad there. And now I have 86, 300 shares. I can show you guys that right now. I'm going after it with XLI here. All right, what are you guys taking a look at? Any of the smaller names moving today? It doesn't seem like much is coming in the chat on the smaller names. TPST diving, yeah, that's IWM, man. I'm telling you, it gives me a lot of edge on the small cap names. That's why I try to only look to trade small cap names when I see the IWM like decently in the green. That helps me. It's like a protection. Look at the IWM going lower towards the 170 30s here. So not looking good on IWM. Show you guys that right now. So you see the IWM action out the gates here. Trying to see if Boeing can keep going, if Deere can keep going. If not, see what happens here. Now we're back into the 90s, 95s, looking good here on XLI as it sweeps up towards the 101. From this point, I'll be break even on the rest, looking for this to start pushing back towards 101.10. And I'll take the first profit there and then just keep going as we start to push back above $60, $70. I'm really trying to get like a $40 gain. If I can get a little bit more pop here, 101.18s, we can just take some off there. Come on, little pop, little pop. Deere looking good there. I want to see Cat get to the upside. Boeing, like to see that stay strong above 187s. Knock is the one that I'm really kind of keeping an eye on also. See what happens here. At this point, I wouldn't want it back down below 190. So if it does come back to that level, I'll just get out and get back in if I need to, right? So I'm getting myself set up here for the nice little push higher. If it works, I get that nice little big return. If not, I stop out, break even. We'll see what happens. Archer up 4%. Okay. Qualcomm news. Yeah, some more news on Qualcomm. That's interesting. I'll tell you what, if you want to find out a lot about Qualcomm, stick around because we will be having them on our virtual AI summit. That's coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern. Smash the like out there, team. Let's see how many likes we can get. Over 400 of you guys out there. Smash the like. Let's keep going, team. What's Pal talking about today at noon? Who knows, David? But of course, what will be watched for? Does he have a dovish tone or does he stay in the hawkish tone, right? I think those are the things that I'll be looking at. All right, want to see XLI start holding the 101 pullback here and then continuing higher, not back towards VWAP. VWAP is 185. See if we can get this nice little secondary pop towards 101.20s, and then I can take like half off and just leave the rest on a stop. Market has been tough to get continuation, so we'll see what happens here. There's a pullback to 198. It holds it, now starts to make that attempt towards the upside. Let's see if I get that rip. A lot of orders here I'm seeing on the level 2s here, so all right, looking around to see what else is making moves. Utilities in the green, industrials in the green now, financial services in the green, technology just barely green. It's pretty much break even. Overall, it's green, but from the open, it's only up 0.03. Real estate 0.01. Dragging on the downside action is communications and healthcare and cyclical names. Energy is still red too, so I'm looking to see if that flips. Honeywell off the VWAP. We'll see if the VWAP bounces and gets back up to the upside. That's one that I'm keeping an eye on for my XLI trade. Can you pull up Nikola? No, I can push it down the hill though, maybe. Nikola. Nikola is just low volume there. So there's almost no volume trading. And when you have no volume trading, it's very difficult. So a lot of movement there. Nikola is trying to regain the $1 too. So that's another thing to think about. In the long run, it's going to want to regain $1 here. But man, is that a company I want to be trading? Probably not. Either way, really. All right, looking around. What are you seeing, Ryan?
Sorry, I was handling a internal issue here. I was not trading. My apologies. It's just been one of those days. What I am seeing now is that after that move, MDAI looks like it's exhausted here. Well, let's go to my screen. Let's do this. Boom. MDAI looks exhausted in the near term, and we're coming back to the VWAP. We want to see if it holds the VWAP. Remember, when we went through this in the pre-market, we dipped under it considerably. So here we are at the VWAP. Let's see. Okay, beneath. Let's wait for MDAI to bottom and maybe set up again. And then we can think about this going higher. Oh, what BFRI? What happened here, Wes? Big spike. This looks really thin. What happened here? I don't see any news here. Very, very thin stock. This stock on average trades 14,500 shares. That's nothing, folks. Currently at 354,000 shares. Be careful with this one. Super, super thin. Up pretty good here on BFRI. Tapas, good question here. Ryan, when you look for it to come back into VWAP, are you using the 1 minute chart? I'm actually using a combination of charts. I have a 1 minute chart in a broker. By the way, MDAI, let me go back to it because it's actually plunged beneath the VWAP and then retook it, moving higher here. I use a 1 minute chart on my broker. I also have the 1 minute chart in Pro, but this chart that you're seeing in Trade the Pool is actually a 3 minute chart. And what I try to do is I try to see when these charts align, right? Because the 3 minute chart should give us less false signals than the 1 minute chart. Should be a little bit smoother, I guess we'll call it. So we'll see, so I'm kind of watching both of them. I would say for intraday, the 1, 3, and 5 are the ones that I go to right now.
All right, team, I'm not going to let this cut through the 101s anymore. If it does cut down there, I'm just going to take the money and run, but looking for the next pop. I'll show you guys that now. Let's see if we get it. 101.06, 101.07. Looking for the pop above 101.10s towards 101.20s. Then I'll take half off and leave the remainder on. $108s. And with this move, what are some moves that we could be looking at? Boeing back at VWAP 186. So if this goes higher, what's interesting for me to play that Boeing bounce off of VWAP, a name that's been really hurt, oversold to the downside, maybe bouncing back some today. Lockheed Martin, another one right off the VWAP, RTX right around the same area. So this is going to be important to kind of catch here. Do we make the next step up and go to the next levels, or will we see a little bit of a turnaround back down? And if it does, I'm not going to let it go through that 101. Zooming in here so you guys can see it a little clearer. We'll see what happens here. The battle's on between the bulls there. How's the overall market looking? Back down, guys. So just be careful out there. The Qs rejected that VWAP hold of move of 364. Now back down slightly below that 364. I'll look to see if it can get back above VWAP. But as you can see on the 5 minutes, what do you see? You see wicks above VWAP. No body closes above VWAP. I'm getting that drop to 97 here. If I see 95s, boom, I'm all out there. Why did it? I hit 200 there, but it only got me. All right, got one more there to go through. I still have 100 shares there. I'm all out there. Boom. All right, this took the money and ran. It's nothing really. It's $22 cushion. Started to pull back, market pulling back. I'm not going to fight the market right now. Can this go higher? Maybe bounce again, VWAP bounce? Yeah. So I could look for a pullback back towards 185s to see if it comes back to the upside right now. Or I could just start looking to maybe play that Boeing play if the XLI just comes back to the upside here. So this is that 186 back towards 186 or 187. We'll see what happens here. The market, though, definitely going to be what I'll be kind of watching. There's XLI right back towards 190s, so it could come right back towards my entry. I didn't want to stay towards that. I just took the money and ran. I'm looking to see if industrials want to bounce back and just go back to the upside. Financial services starting to leak into the red. XLF just went down pretty fast there. We'll see what happens on those stocks now. All right, what are you guys looking at out there, team?
NKTX had moved above the VWAP, but I don't see a setup there. ICU broke down beneath the VWAP here. This, we really need to wait for it to find a bottom before we trade it. Cleo agrees, by the way. MDAI making a double top here on the intraday chart. Maybe not a really clean double top, but we'll see if it can push above that. I'd like for this to come back into VWAP here.
All right, now starting to get that bounce in Boeing. That could help XLI just go right back up. So I'm going to look for a pullback in Boeing to see if I can get in, which is 186.20s. But it's moving pretty fast here. It's up towards 186.63s already. Lockheed Martin is one that I could look at. That's still off the VWAP. That's 147 off of 146. A little bit more risk on that. GE going higher. Deere going higher. That's going to help. We'll see if those names start to kind of push and lead. Looking for a pullback here in Boeing to get in.
Aramis, the entry that I would be looking for here is VWAP. I have that at just about 422, 423 in my broker. That's the level that I'm looking for here. We're trying to use the VWAP as a support. The other thing I'll say is I'm not going to put a limit order out there, because if it knifes and it goes right through that VWAP, I don't want to get filled on that knife down. I want to wait for it and see it. You can see we did come in. If you look at this chart here, it might be difficult to see, but we did come into that 422 and we've bounced pretty nicely here. BRB, one second.
Trying to recover there. The 101. We'll see what happens on that. XLU now starting to come down, so we could see everything go into the red. I'm just keeping my eye on the SPY to see what happens there. Boeing with a nice little move to the upside there. Looks like I missed that one, but I'm just going to leave it alone now. Looking to see if the SPY goes red underneath the kind of the support here. And the Qs, can they get above the VWAP, or does it reject towards 363.50s here? Could be the drag of the market. So we'll see what happens there. Apple's still green, yet the market's not going the direction of some of these bigger names. That's interesting to see. Of course, being dragged by names like Tesla and Netflix. We'll see if they'll start to work their way back. Netflix is right off of VWAP if you guys want to keep your eyes on that. These bigger stocks are actually holding up here, even though the market isn't. So I'm looking to see if the Qs start to play catch up here. There it starts to get above the VWAP. It's holding that 364 now. Microsoft starting to make a move to the upside. Meta starting to make a move to the upside. Can tech get back into kind of leading the market? Utilities, the leading sector right now from the open, 0.17. Technology behind that, 0.15. It's not a big move. Oil kind of going down today, at least for right now. We'll see if that changes or that trend changes.
MDAI 2 weeks, says Smoke Tuna. I agree. Tried to bounce off this VWAP. I guess it did, but really having a tough time clearing this out. I know we poked above it, but we immediately came back in. No position, MDAI. SPY still at lows. Qs look like they're kind of hanging in, at least so far. Dow at lows, SPY at lows.
It's interesting to see those other stocks, the leaders, still in the green there. All right, team. What's going on out there, team? SPR was a trade. I missed it. It's going up. That's for sure. I didn't expect that one to go up off of the news, but hey, it still has been going up here. That's for certain. Big level to watch, kind of like a little bit of a move to kind of get to 23s. There's some resistance up here. The only question is, will it act as resistance? You can see it stopping around 2210s right now. We'll see if it takes the next level up. Verizon going lower. We'll see what happens there, as communication services is one of the leading sectors to the downside today, exactly with healthcare. Healthcare is just getting wrecked today, guys. Drug manufacturers, the big boys getting hit hard. Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, AbbVie, AZN, all NBS, all down. Pfizer down. Amgen down. Sanofi down. Bristol Myers down, Gilead down, GSX down, Biogen down. You see how many names are down there? Every single name in that industry red today. This is why I think it's so important to stay with the rotation, right? All names red, at least in those major drug manufacturers. Big hit there.
Voodoo, this is Voodoo saying, Mitch, I got no trade on yet. Lots of no edge, low edge out there. I totally agree, Voodoo. I'm seeing the same thing
man.
here.
It's tough.
Jesse, what's going on? How are the cats, Jesse?
XLV, you can see that also, and how that's weighing in there and how that's taking a big hit there.
Duke the Fool, good question here. Anyone watch the TTM squeeze? NVAX in a 1 hour squeeze and RSI divergence is something I'm watching. I used to use TTM squeeze. I never really got great actionable signals out of it, but if you're doing it, more power to you.
Tech is reversing. It's now going green, and that's just how the market can go sometimes, teams. So just be careful with a wicked reversal in Tesla now. My bears out there, I'd be careful about that. I'm not going to play that Tesla move, but it does look like it's starting to come back. And of course,
coming to the
reverse psychology. What has been winning? I will repeat it. We've been talking about it this week. The contrarian move has been winning. Just stating that. It's up to you to make your calls, but I've been seeing it work. So it's interesting to start seeing that start to go up. If I want to play this, I'd play it with maybe Soxel. So if I want to play the upside action for today, I'd maybe look for a little bit of a pullback here to 1840s, 1830s on Soxel, but it's already up there to 1850s. XLI, will that come right back up? I'm keeping an eye on it. I tried to make a move back to 101 and failed. Trying to see what's going to lead the market here.
AMD, that is ripping. Good call, J2K. That is moving here. That would have been a nice move off the VWAP too, and an AMD going with that tech move that Mitch was just talking about.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, right? I was talking about how there were certain stocks that were pretty strong compared to the way that the market reaction was. The Qs are lagging, actually. Some of these bigger names like Amazon, Adobe going higher, NVIDIA going higher. So these names actually don't look too bad. Honeywell looks interesting for me there off this XLI move. So I might try to take some Honeywell here. Boeing could be also an option.
You got a number of things that you're looking for. Good morning, 13. Question here from A. Barry. Rule the pool. Is it possible to hold the trade for the next day? Another question, is it possible to trade in both London and the New York sessions for someone living in the U.S.? Mitch, I'll have you answer that. I'll say this. Yes, you can definitely hold a trade overnight. You don't have to day trade. You can keep an open position overnight. But I do not believe it is possible to trade London and New York sessions. I'll let Mitch or Gil confirm that for me.
All right, long there a little bit here on Honeywell. Just took their 88s there. So I'm focusing on the trade, but I got you. I'll talk about that in just a second here. Trying to nail this Honeywell trade before I miss it. So we'll see what happens here.
You think it's reversing there on that 5-minute chart?
It's a VWAP bounce play. This is a pure VWAP bounce play off the VWAP. So
I did one of those earlier.
It's as simple as that, right? I'm trying not to make it difficult for myself right now. I haven't been seeing edge, so I'm just going off of what strategy. Seems to make sense, right, Ryan? Just going to go off strategy and see what happens there.
Off whatever you can get green on the screen. My trade earlier was for what, 10, 15 cents or whatever it was? Let me see. Yeah. 25 cents was what my trade was for earlier. You know what? I'll take it. I instead of getting wrecked, I got green on the screen here today, Mitch. Let's go.
We'll see. I have a little cushion, about $20, so I'm taking a little bit of a shot here on Honeywell to see if it can get back up towards 185.75s. And that would, of course, be like kind of almost a whole dollar profit. So trying to take a shot there. I got 60 shares there from 184.89.
Mitch, keep focusing on your trade. I got this question answered. Gil confirming that I am 100% correct. Yes, you can hold positions overnight. No, you cannot trade the London market. We are U.S. only.
Yeah, I wanted to explain a little bit about that. So the way it works is that there's certain buying power that you have access to, and then you have a different access to buying power overnight. So you have to understand what's the limits of buying power overnight so that you can overnight some of these trades. You can't just hold all that buying power. So that is one thing that you need to keep in mind, because if not, some of the position will be closed automatically before the end of the market. But you want to be looking into understanding what's the limits are. It all depends on the account. I'll let you guys know the exact amount in just a second. I have a different account than what we're going to be using on the competition account. So that's the main difference. I need to look it up right quick. Maybe Gil can jump in here in the chat and kind of fill in what's the overnight buying power for that package. But that's something that you need to keep in mind. I'm looking for the XLI to go higher here, and wouldn't you know it, there's a nice little rip. I was looking for this move just prior to this. Look at that. This would have actually got me a really nice trade on the day. I already taken some profits on this, but at least seeing XLI go higher makes me feel at least I'm not in the worst stock here trying to get Honeywell. Boeing's another one that I was looking off of the 186.20 level. It eventually came down towards 186.25, but it didn't go down far enough for me to get filled anyways. Take a look at the Boeing action here.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
I was going to say, I love this here. I was trying to get in there. Jay saying, Lulu, best call from Triple D was fade the S&P ad. This is absolutely the case. The S&P ad popped it right up here. That was, in fact, the top. This thing is totally rolling over. We're actually in the gap. Look for this to try and fill the gap down to 385 if that continues to show weakness.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that it was a little bit hard on day one, right? And so you have to wait out a little bit. That's what Dennis said too. Be careful with that day one move, because day one it went higher. It went from an opening price there of 411.59 up there towards a high that day of 419.76. So you have to wait a little bit if you're going after that kind of play, but it wasn't a bad call. Gil, can you share your email? I've shared it multiple times, but I got you guys. I'll keep sharing it here. There you guys have both emails. Jay saying that's why you scale in, Mitch. And yeah, you could do
exactly
that.
right.
I'll tell you right now, though, Dennis doesn't scale in. So I don't know if he would agree with that. He actually doesn't. I've gotten to a little
Dennis
bit of
is
a
a
battle.
monster. Let's just put that out there. Dennis is an absolute monster. Okay, I've been watching Dennis for a long time, and I can't do any of the stuff that Dennis does. He's an absolute monster.
So I know that Dennis doesn't scale in. His approach would be all in, all out. But hey, we'll see what happens. Google setting up. I'm talking about Google on the setup. Getting a pullback here in Honeywell. We'll see what happens. It is starting to pull back here. Definitely don't want it to go through the support here. Next layer is all the way down to 184. So I got to be a little bit careful here, but looking for this to kind of catch here at least by the 184.40s and then come back up through 185. It rejected 185 just recently. Needs to get back up through that level. XLI coming all the way back down to VWAP. And will we see the fake out move? And just look at the SPY, guys. Be careful out there, guys. Be careful out there, guys. SPY just moved all the way right back down. This is how the move has been
chop
going.
From yesterday that we saw, Mitch.
Dude, I'm trying to control my my language here, but yeah, it's the same fucking drop.
Yeah, good idea. Control your language, Mitch. No reason to let the emotions get the best of you.
It's just ridiculous there. That when you get stuff like that, that's just tough, man. Especially with the bodies and the wicks, it's happening. You're getting a lot of fake outs both directions. That's tough, man. Even Tesla buyers getting stuffed a little bit as it comes back down below 225s.
Mitch is in Thanksgiving mode, talking about people getting stuffed already.
Stuff like a turkey on Thanksgiving, baby.
Oh, I love it. NVIDIA, by the way, coming back in with this pull here in the Qs.
I know about you guys, dude, but I don't want to be stuffed like a turkey.
I mean, I'm not going to comment on being stuffed like a turkey, but what I will say is that I can't wait for Thanksgiving. Food and football is about the best holiday you can get.
Yes, sir.
Love that you have a Gallarhorn being played on your soundboard.
Yes, because you know, when Thanksgiving comes, you need to call and rally all the troops.
Val saying, Mitch, you are too bullish and the market is too weak.
I guess. It's tough, man. It's tough right now. There's very rare times that I admit to not having the best edge on the market, and that's exactly what I did today on pre-market prep. You got to know when you're seeing it right. You got to know when you're not. Know when to hit the gas pedal. Know when to hit the brake pedal. That's what it's all about.
DK Discord Voodoo. I don't know what that is. I do have Discord, but I'm not like a Discord fanatic. I use it for my Escape from Tarkov group primarily. But if that's a good way to communicate with people outside of work hours or anything like that, I'm open to it. So, DraftKings has a Discord? No, I'm not. Let me look into that real quick. My scanner has some things on it, but I don't see anything good setup wise. Rare would have been good out of the gate here, but missed that. DraftKings. See, like, how do you even find servers? Yeah, 13. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really enjoy Thanksgiving from my own home. But what I'll say here is if I was going to go anywhere, it would be to your place because deep frying a turkey, Oktoberfest brews, neighbors with brisket. Oh man. This sounds awesome. This sounds awesome. And we could watch that Lions Packers game. I'd be rooting for the Lions.
And down goes Frazier as the market starts to pull back here.
Voodoo, I am now a part of the DraftKings Discord channel. I have to verify myself, apparently. Okay. Okay, Voodoo, I'm in.
All right, guys, we'll see if I get stopped out and get slightly in the red on this Honeywell, but I'd be down like $9.
Putting you up, Mitch.
It'd be down like $9, so it's not a big deal there. I'm just trying to see if it turns around because honestly, that's the way this market has been. All of a sudden, we get to move to the downside of the range, then move to the top end of the range. What's going to start working better? And I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to start having to trade this is Bollinger Band expansions and then trading them back to the mean. That's the only strategy I can see working right now, at least from my eyes. That's the only strategy I see working right now. I'll repeat it. If you guys see a strategy working out there, let me know. But right now, the strategies of like VWAP bounces, not working. Maybe reversals off double bottoms, maybe that could be working. I always think about these because it's important. And it's important really to take statistical data on this. But right now, I'm seeing a lot of like kind of Bollinger Band's moves where it gets to the extreme and then comes back all the way to the other side. So maybe it's playing that mean reversion trade that's making sense right now.
All right, Voodoo, you've been added as a friend.
Keltner channels, very similar, right?
Kelts.
that could be used. Bourne says, I've been killing it using that, Mitch. Well, there you go.
Which
Boom.
one? Keltner channels? Bourne?
Yeah.
Which
Is
one?
it the Bollinger Band mean reversion? What type of trades? Yeah. Daniel bringing it in there. Bollinger Bands for sure. 2 standard deviations away. And then looking for it to come back to the mean line. Maybe even the top Bollinger Band. But that's just from what I've been seeing, right? And I think this is important talk, right? We got to be knowing what strategies are working and not. That's what really gives some traders the edge when they have multiple tools. They take a lot of statistical data on understanding which strategies are working and which strategies are not. Could get stopped out here. The spread is going wide on me, so that's what could get me stopped out here. The Qs are trying to come back a little bit. I'm going to extend this down to $32 of risk just because I see the spread trying to come get me right now. So what do? I bring my stop down a little bit. Key here, you can't be so big that you can't change your stop a little bit.
Sounds good, Voodoo. We will talk. Smoke Tuna saying ARDX setting up here. I've got ARDX here. What are you looking for, Smoke Tuna? I'm trying to. Would have been a great buy down here at the VWAP. It does look like it's trying to break out of this formation here and maybe go towards those highs. We'll see if we get that. Looking at the MACD here, it looks kind of just in the middle. Actually, this might even be rounding to the downside. Anyway, let me know what it is that you see there.
Yeah, and Bourne said, yeah, it was Bollinger Band reversion.
Okay.
And I can see this with my eyes, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. And that's experience, right? I can see that that's the trade that seems to make sense here. It's not a trade I trade often, so it's not in my tool belt, but it's something that I might need to add to my tool belt, right?
Yeah, I'm throwing the Bollinger Bands on my main chart as well now.
It's just something to look at, right? And I think it's an important thing. Sometimes we might be able to find something different. The algos are running the game, Lynn. That's what I would say. The algos are just running the game and just running people over. I know some people are not going to agree with that. That's okay. You can agree or disagree. I always state it how I see it, right? It's up to you guys to agree. There's never 100% of things out there, and you guys can always kind of battle back on what I'm saying. But I really do think that lately, retail is getting crushed, and it's a lot by the algorithmic volume.
Yeah, Carmen, Becca alerted that ARDX near the bottom. Not surprised about that at all. That was a nice move back down to VWAP, held there for a couple of 3-minute candles and then pushed off of it. This is going higher here. It's actually broke out of that sideways formation a little bit here.
Honeywell.
Great call, guys.
Out Honeywell, $29 loss, down about $8 on the day, even though I had a little cushion on XLI. Honeywell coming right back down. Market could be coming down here. We'll see what happens. And there's the SPY making a new low in just a second. Boom, there it is. 429.50's new low there. Qs going down fast there. So Tesla, it looks like it might break the low there. Netflix, yep, could have put the top in there just out the gates. Now this could come back down. This actually looks interesting for me to short into here. I have to risk off of 402 though. That's the hard part here. So I'd have to go really small to start. See if I can get 401 here on the pullback. Trying to get short a little bit at 401. Got to be careful though. I'm going at it with 10 shares. Got to be careful when you're trading a stock like Netflix. But I'm seeing the market come down. I'm trying to take the shot there. Needed to come back over 401 though to get the entry. I don't think I will. It's more like it's a pop fill kind of thing. We'll see if
That's
I do get
looking
the
like
entry.
that's going lower here.
I mean, I saw the Q's attempt for the takedown. We'll see if it actually goes for it. But look at that. I don't know if you got the Q's up, but man, that's some big hit there. Rick, I would bring that up, but right now it's a little bit insensitive, so I'm going to keep it out, but I can't blame you for the talk.
Markets to new lows here. LBRT seems to be bucking that trend, though. Ticker LBRT. This is not one I'm familiar with. Let me see what's going on here.
No fill
BRT.
there on Netflix. So canceling out, no fill.
So this is interesting. We were just talking with Bourne about the Bollinger Band. Take a look at LBRT today. No wonder this has been working for him. Look at the action here in LBRT. Right to the bottom of the band, through VWAP, through the center, right to the top of the band. A little bit of consolidation here. Down to the bottom of the band, riding the bottom of the band, reversal through the center to the top of the band. Hey, hang on one
Important
second.
to catch those. By all means, no worries, Ryan. You go get Buddy. Go get that Buddy. Let him know. Don't touch my bird, man. Nah, I can't blame him, man. Got to protect the bird. All right, we'll see what happens out there. I'm definitely keeping an eye on to see what happens in the market here. Netflix keeps going down here. We'll look to see if that can keep cracking. Maybe I should have just gone after it, but the spread was a little wide there to go short on Netflix there on the bottom end of it on the bid side. So I was looking for a little bit of a click back, but couldn't get that. So now the only thing that I can see is maybe scalping like SQQQ, Success, maybe a VWAP pullback here, a push back above the 1150s. But there ain't much out there right now. It's about 10:31, guys. We only got about 9 minutes left. We're going to get you guys over to an all access starting at 10:40. And then, of course, we got the AI event. I need you guys to support us and stick around for that AI event. I don't want you guys missing that. That's at 11 a.m. Eastern. I want all you guys here right now, all 325 of you guys going over to that AI event and supporting me as I do an interview with Verizon and MasterCard and checking out all the action from the AI event. If you want to find out what's going on in AI, want some updates? Well, check out the AI Summit that's coming up next at 11 a.m. Eastern. Qualcomm, you get Amazon Web Services, Verizon, MasterCard. Stick around, team, and smash that like and flex. You got some flexing to do in the chat. Let us know. What are you coming after? And of course, the Rule the Pool competition. Who's going to rule the pool? Jay, you never told me if you're going to win, man. Come on.
Jay Rice?
Yeah.
Oh, I expect Jay Rice to be there. I expect him to be in this.
Yeah, if he doesn't show up, Ryan and I are going to be upset.
I would be extremely disappointed to see him not participate in this after all of the calls and all of the discussions we've had here over the years maybe at this point. Man,
this is when he can show us he got it. Who got it? Let us know. Jay, no time for the pool, man. Come on, man. Come on. You got time.
Disappointing.
You got time to say stuff in the chat. You got time for Trade the Pool, baby. Get after it, team. Who's going to rule the pool, baby? All right, Success still holding. Netflix coming back a little bit here. Will the market just make another move back to the upside? Who knows right now? Honestly, not feeling the most edge and down $8 today. Not going to, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to hit the brake pedal. Brake on, brake on. Not probably taking another trade, at least here today. And why? Because I just don't feel like I have that edge, right? I talked about it before. Tried to go with the strategical moves today, went after the XLI, got some gains, then got a loss on Honeywell, probably calling it a day. And I think that sometimes you need to be able to do that as a day trader too. It's okay. the fun part is there's a whole bunch of opportunities that will be here tomorrow. And I think that's an important thing as day traders to remember. There's infinite amount of opportunities. We don't have to go for every one. Mitch, what's your max profit on a day? A little bit over like 1,000, like on one trade though. It was on one trade. It was like a little bit over 1,000. It was like, let's say like somewhere between 1,200.
No, I think he means rule based. What is the like when you hit it, when are you done for the day?
Max profit on the day is more based on how things are flowing, right? If I start getting a nice little kind of move towards the upside, really it's all dependent on how much I'm trying to risk. Let's say on this account, lately it's been pushed up, right? I've been trying to push the risk towards like maybe 300, trying to make 600 on the day. But it all depends on that, right? What I always think about it is my profit to loss ratio should also play into that. So let's say if my profit to loss ratio outlook is 3-to-1, right? If I want to risk $100, I should be making $300, right? And things like that. That's what I want to be thinking about. So really just kind of figure that out, right? And then try to get after it there.
Much. Oh, I'm not getting filled.
Max profit 10K day. That's a big day, Quantum. If I had a 10K day, I'd probably just trade. Let's just be honest, right? If I can make $10,000 in one day consistently, well, I would probably just be making $10,000.
I mean, consistently. They're talking about max.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying that if I could make that consistently, well, then I would just be trading nonstop. Dip buy opportunities, says Leon. We'll see what happens. Q's coming back, and this market is just like, all right, we're gonna look like we're gonna break down. We're gonna come right back. So just be careful out there, team. Don't want to see people get run over. All right, guys, it's 10:36. In just 4 minutes, we will be getting out of here and getting you guys over to the All Access. It's coming up next. And then, of course, the AI event after that. Don't want anybody going anywhere. Stick around, team. We got a great day for you guys right here, only on Benzinga, of course. I see you reversing. Let's take a look.
It's right at the VWAP here. It's right at the VWAP here, looking like it's trying to go through.
At least it held that $1 spot. You got a wick through there to stop some people out at the $1, but it is starting to come back there. I think that's an important level for it not to break again. This is why I don't want to go shorting some names right now, because the Qs are already coming back, and it just seems like the mean reversion trade just keeps working. And Amazon is still green here, guys. This market is a little weird, guys. Just a little bit weird. Look at Apple. Still up on the day. Amazon. Still up on the day. Is Microsoft still up on the day? Yeah. It's just incredible, man. It just seems like normally, like when I look at the leadership, it makes sense with the indexes, right? Like with the Qs and the SPY, because they usually lead the indexes. They make up like 50% a lot of the times. The Magnificent 8 or the Magnificent 7 or the Elite 8, whatever you want to call it. Don't get Ryan mad about the Elite 8, but definitely, I just don't see this action consistently happen. I don't know about you, Ryan. At least in my experience, that doesn't happen often.
What doesn't? Like
leadership leading to the upside from the open, yet the index is pointing to the downside.
Yeah, it's definitely a divergence.
It's an uncommon thing to happen there. And I think that's just the important thing to kind of catch with, right? We'll see what happens if this changes, but it just goes to show me that there's some moves here and some kind of rotation that's going on that even I don't understand. So that's hard, because that's literally what I look for a lot of the times. And it just seems like it's been really hard lately to try to play these names. Netflix right off of kind of that 401 spot. It did get towards that 401 spot if I wanted to take the shot, but today I don't see the edge and there's no point. That'd be me going for a trade just for the sake of going for a trade, right? I don't want to do that today.
I feel you. 13 saying the same thing. Hats off to those trading. I'm not seeing anything I like that fits my profile, so I'm probably not trading today. That's exactly what you talked about earlier, Mitch.
Yeah, and the best traders that I have known in my history know exactly when to hit the brake pedal and when to hit the gas pedal, right?
The brake pedal is what ends up saving you. That's the reality. The brake pedal is what's going to keep you protected. Learning how to use that first is the strategy to do.
Yeah, what most traders do, gas pedal. And usually on the wrong days. Like when we're getting dragged, you're just getting destroyed. We're like, oh, no, we're going to keep going after this market. Probably not the way that I've seen day traders find success. What do I see? I see traders that do have success in day trading. What do they do well? They know when things are working, and then they hit the gas pedal. Pharaoh, I'm not going to blame it on the algos anymore. They're going to get mad. I think we all see it, though. A lot of stop outs out there. All right, Ryan, let's wrap up this market. It's 10:40. We're going to get over to All Access. That's coming up next. Taking down the screens. Like always, you guys can take a look at Trade the Pool. Take a look at the Rule the Pool competition. Want you guys to go ahead and sign up. I'm going to throw up the link here for you guys to go ahead and sign up for that Rule the Pool competition. We want to see who's going to take us on, Ryan and myself. Who will win? Hopefully, I'm looking for you guys to take the reins, right? Show everybody what this Benzinga community is truly all about here on live trading. Smash those likes up. Get it up there, guys. I had a great time with you guys today. Up next, you guys will get, of course, All Access. And after that, like I said, don't go anywhere. The AI Summit coming up next. Don't want you guys to miss out on that. I will be interviewing MasterCard and Verizon. We will have Qualcomm. We'll have Amazon Web Services. You really don't want to miss out on that conversation. And some stocks could be moving off of this. So I will see you guys there at the AI Summit. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on Michael Murray today as we switch over to All Access. Let's get him on here. How we doing, Michael? Good old mute. I got to unmute you, my friend. Mic on. Check. Mic 1 2 1 2. All right, you let me know when you're all ready to go, my friend. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready. All right, let's keep going, team. All right, there's Michael. He's ready. We got you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Boom. Nothing like clarity of audio.
I do adjust my headset, man. Aaron Bree has such a small head when I get back on here. I have to move this headset all around. It doesn't fit my giant melon. So, yeah, we're good now.
We got to get a little more knowledge in that guy or something. Grow that head or something. All right, let's get to the action. We're going to get to the interview in just a second. Of course, what's All Access all about? It's about uncovering the stories, right? And I think that this is the important part that we do for you guys is definitely level the playing field at Benzinga. That's what we're all about. That's why Jason started this company. You guys don't know our CEO, Jason Raznick. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to level the playing field for investors like you guys to understand all the companies in the market, not just the blue chips, right? But all the way down to small cap, mid caps, and different areas, right? Industries that we cover here at Benzinga. We're excellent in so many different ways, right? Cannabis, Web3, alternative investments, right? We do it all for you guys here at Benzinga. And that's what it's really about, leveling that playing field. And Michael, he's always behind that, trying to help you guys out also. So I'm going to let him take over here, get to All Access. You guys smash the like.
Mitch, appreciate you as always. Thanks to the crew this morning for kicking things off here on a Thursday in October. We have an interesting one coming on All Access this morning, not a public company, but TechniTrader joining us to talk through some of the ways that they're helping traders trade. We're going to run the intro and we'll get into Benzinga All Access. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to bring on Martha Stokes, CMT, co-founder and CEO of TechniTrader. We're going to get her online in just a second here. But before we do that, we want to run through a quick overview of TechniTrader, really, really interesting company. And Martha Stokes really requires no introduction for anybody who hasn't heard of her. We want to give you a quick introduction to the company itself. So TechniTrader, essentially a company that helps traders trade with their strategies that they want to use better every single day. Martha is obviously a chartered market technician, which is why we're excited to talk about not just TechniTrader itself, but what she's seeing in the marketplace and how we can use some of the strategies at TechniTrader to help you further your trading journey. The thought leadership insights that we're all going to be able to get are going to be really, really helpful. So we're excited to bring her on. Martha's in the studio. We're going to go ahead and bring her on screen and get started. Martha Stokes, welcome in. How are you? And it looks like we need to get her mic on before we can get rolling. There it is. I think you're unmuted now. Can you hear us, Martha?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have a couple of slides I'd like to show you and I'd like to talk about the differences between professional training and education that the people get and the retail side. So do you have those screenshots for me?
Yep, we've got that deck. We're going to pull it up for you really quick. As we pull that up too, before we get into it, because obviously you've got more context than anyone, can you give us a quick 30-second recap of what exactly TechniTrader is?
TechniTrader is a legacy that I'm doing. My business partner, when we closed our small fund because we both wanted to retire and I was in my late 30s, we decided that we had a lot of people that needed the education. I was really shocked when I did my first workshop because it took him a year to convince me to do it because I didn't think we had anything to teach anybody. But when I stood in front of the audience, I was there about 10 minutes and I looked around and I said, you don't know any of this stuff. And I had brokers, I had financial planners, I had experts as well as retail traders in front of me and they knew nothing. Our education is very different and very unique in its approach. So if somebody's really serious about making money in the market, rather than just it being a hobby or something fun to do in the mornings, then we have something to offer them. So it's a really good platform for those of you who want to become semi-professional or really understand the market and make some pretty good money. Our students really love it. And I have a lot of different things that I just want to show you today so that helps you decide what makes difference. So that's us. So you can flip on through that chart. And what I did 25 years ago, I had a trading floor and I had to help my traders figure out what the market was going to do. Futures weren't working. Futures are hot and cold. Sometimes they tell you what the market's going to do for the day and the rest of the time it doesn't. So I developed these scans and I've tweaked them over the years and I give them to my students. And then I have a market report that I give them also that shows them what I see as far as what's going on in the market. It's kind of my own AI that I created. And it's extremely accurate. I never bothered to check it, but my students have been tracking it for all these years. And they say it's 95% accurate about what happens after the market opens. Are we going to have a whipsaw? Are we going to have a sudden reversal from one trend to the other, intraday or day? And so it really helps them understand the 6 different market conditions and the trading conditions for the day. Next slide. Okay. When you are deciding to find a stock to trade, most of you start out with your earnings news or news and oh, here's a hot new IPO and everything. And so you go, okay, that's what I'm going to trade for today. Your news is late. It's always very late. The market acts on the millisecond. So every 1 second, there are 1,000 trades that can fire off on the professional side. And you are not part of the professional side. You are on the outside on the public exchanges, the ECNs, and so on and so forth. Have you ever seen a 5 million share lot go through your level 2 screen? No, because they don't occur on the exchanges. They occur off the exchanges on ATS venues. Well, you need to find these stocks before they're moving, before the market opens, because the pros are already in. They've nudged the HFTs. The high frequency traders are the maker takers of the exchanges. They fill the queues with thousands of orders before the market opens, and then they cancel those that they don't need, and then they go ahead and start filling your orders. And of course, you get in a stock that was running up and now it's running down and you lose money. That's why. So you need to get into the study. We have all these scans and sorts for students. I have lots and lots of different scans that they can use depending on their trading style. There's 6 different trading styles. Next screen. So this gives you an opportunity to find stocks before they're moving. So I need to go on to the next slide because I only have 10 minutes.
We'll move one slide right here for you.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. We're just going to try and pull one screen over. There we go.
There are 6 different trading styles. So you have many to choose from. This is a slower trading style for those of you who work full-time or are developing a career, have a family, are retired, don't want to spend your every single day trading stocks. This is actually a more lucrative income for those who want to make a monthly income or augment your income per month. And this is a very easy, the easiest one to learn. It's the lowest risk. It's called platform position trading. And if you come to our website, you can get more information on that. Next slide. All right, you day traders, you swing traders, you intraday traders, you are using MACD, you're using stochastics, you're using RSI. I know because I get all kinds of questions all the time in the communities that I have on my website for people who are wanting to learn about the market. Those are all ancient indicators based on price and time. There are hybrid leading indicators that are available now that are far superior because our market is different than it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It's very different. It's automated. It's millisecond trading. 60,000 orders can fill in 1 minute. That's the scale that you run on is 1 minute. 60,000 orders ahead of you. And you can't possibly keep up with that. So you need indicators that signal before the crossover. So this little stock was nudging down. And it got a little tick from the pro traders, and the indicator indicated that, and it moved up the next day. Nice little run, and then all of a sudden the indicator is showing, okay, they're going to start taking profits because they're already starting to take profits, and then it runs down. So you can see that even with a bigger black candle, sudden reversal, and these are the things that you're experiencing intraday, day, because we have a choppy market. It's not volatile. So if you learn the hybrid leading indicators, you're going to be in the stock with the pros as they nudge the stock up to trigger the HFTs, and you're going to have higher income. And it's just that simple, but it's something you have to learn, and the hybrid leading indicators are what you need to learn. Next slide. Okay. I love to teach. It is my passion in my retirement, and I've been doing it for quite a while. Nothing makes me more happy than to see a beginner or somebody who's been struggling with day trading suddenly have success on a consistent basis. It just makes my day. But you need to know about us. You need to understand what we do and how different we are. We teach the Western candlestick buy entry signals, not the Japanese, because you already know the Japanese. We teach a different kind of stop loss. We teach all kinds of things that are different. So come to our website. These mini courses are designed just like our regular courses. You can take one or all of them. And if you have something that you don't see, you can write us and put a note in your registration and say, hey, I'd like to learn this. I'd like to learn that, because I have all kinds of hidden little mini courses as well. So any questions, anything that you'd like to cover, Michael?
That was really, really thorough, and you went through it really quickly. I'm impressed. No, I think, Martha, the biggest question that we have for you is basically, you walk through the entire deck here. Where should somebody start with all this, right? It's a lot of great information, but we see the free introductory mini courses. Where's the next step? Like, where should an investor that's brand new and wants to work with you get started to get your training?
They need to take the mini courses. I would say that the beginners need to start with candlesticks and basic indicator information. RSI is a good one, but that's a little more advanced. Introduction to trading is great. If you have a lot of experience, then the swing trading or the Profit Hunter is a great community. If you're a beginner, the Profit Hunter is also a great community because I write an article every week that explains what happened in the market this week so you can understand what the professional side is doing. The professional side constitutes 80% of the $240 billion in transactions that change hands in the market every day. The market is massively, massively huge. And what most retail traders, investors think is that it's small. It's not small, it's massive. And so you have to understand what the 80% of the market is doing, not 20%. And the indexes are great, but there's a lot of stocks that move wonderfully well that are not components of the indexes. So you have to know your news is late, so you're going to get in late. The futures are not reliable to tell you what the market is going to do all day long. And there are indicators and scans and all kinds of tools that you can have that make it easier for you to follow the professional traders. If you're trading with the pros, then you're going to be making good money.
Understood. And we're a couple minutes over, but that's okay. I want to ask you another question about trends that you're seeing in traders that are taking your courses or that you're watching them trade. What are some of the trends in the investing space that you're seeing right now?
What I'm seeing right now is a lot of mine have gone to platform position trading because the market is choppy and sideways. It's not volatile. And my swing traders are doing very well out of bottoms, completed bottoms, because there's that acceleration. What you want to do is trade with the pros. So you want to check your percentage of shares held by institutions and make sure that you're with the giant buy-side institutions, because they accumulate large masses of inventory for their mutual funds and ETFs. And that causes a liquidity draw, which causes the compression and the spring and the big runs that we see.
Absolutely.
So visit my website and register. And we don't, if you find that the training is right for you, it's right for you. If it's not right for you, that's fine. I've been teaching this for 25 years, and my students are just incredibly happy with what I have. Students that are still with me and check in periodically and tell me how great they're doing.
That's amazing. Martha, it's really incredible to see the success you've had. We're very excited to get this in front of our investors and have you help out more people along their trading journey. Martha Stokes, CEO, co-founder, and CMT at TechniTrader. Thank you so much for being with us here this morning.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure. Martha Stokes there from TechniTrader, running us through some of her introductory courses that you can get started with anytime. Just go to their website, get started with TechniTrader, try the mini courses, and help your trading journey today. That's it for us on All Access. We went through a lot of info there at one time. If you want more info on TechniTrader and about what they're doing, you can, like I said, go to their website or check them out on some of our placements on Benzinga.com. See you next time on All Access.